Let me welcome another voice here. We have with us Fadel Abdul Ghany, an analyst and the chairman and founder of the Syria Network for Human Rights. He is joining us from Doha. Syria has been in conflict for most of these 9 years, these past 9 years, in fact, more than 9 years. And the toll it's taken on the civilians, on the Syrians, is horrible. This call for ceasefire, do you see it having any effect?
Actually, we hope so. We hope that ceasefire is held even in this virus suppression and after as well. We request for ceasefire long time ago for the relief of mainly of the IDP. The IDP situation is the perfect circumstances to this virus to be spread in between. Till now, actually, there is comparing with the previous period, the ceasefire is held even before the announcement of the General Secretary. But actually, the General Secretary request, and then it's being followed actually by the Syria Special Envoy. I think this essential request by both of them to the party and mainly to the Russian and the regime. Because why I'm talking mainly for both of those sides, because we noticed, like always, no care about the civilians' life from those sides. And beside that, yesterday the civil defense foreign ministry, the civil defense ministry, the Russian defense ministry visited Syria and meet with Bashar al-Assad, and we afraid that there was a plan for the next waging of war against civilians in Idlib. So that's in that context, the call from the Antonio Guterres, Mr. Guterres, and Syria Special Envoy is key in this regard, actually.
But Mr. Abdul Ghany, let me ask you this, that in Syria there have been hundreds of thousands who have been displaced time and again. And right now Europe has been, before the COVID took their attention, had been very concerned that Turkey is allowing these refugees to move into Europe. That in itself creates more of a risk of a spread. So why would it be now that the UN would get everybody to listen on a ceasefire to prevent all of this?
Actually, now, the border is being closed 2 weeks ago completely, the Syrian and the Turkish border, which is good for both sides, actually. And as I mentioned, now there is no movement for the refugees at all. But the thing is, we are talking about disaster circumstances for those IDP, mainly for the random IDP camps, which there is lack of water and lack of the cleaning material. That's our main concern, that COVID-19 spread very widely in this area, and if it spread in Idlib, then this will affect the other territory in Syria and in the region as well.
I understand what you're saying there, but there are, of course, big concerns whether those who are supporting Bashar al-Assad, Russia, and then on the other side, Turkey, will ever come to an agreement over this because of the expense of the refugees.
I think that there is negotiation now taking place in this regard, and that's why I refer to the visit of the Russian
Defense Ministry. But the UN has historically never been able to hold these powers that be accountable, leave alone get those who have veto powers to see their perspective. Why would Russia agree?
I think that the COVID-19 is behind than the Russia thought. This actually shocked everyone and affected the ability and the capacity of the Syria army and the Syria regime as well to do or achieve any movement. Even Russia, and even economically, it's heavily affected. So that I think they will hold for this area. But you are totally right, and I'm totally agree that after this this dilemma being solved, COVID-19, this disease, I think they will continue their waging attacks against civilians and seize more territory and keep pressuring Turkey until they have this decisive win. So at this period, they just manage the time and how they deal with this.
They're also calling for lifting of sanctions to countries that have been hit by COVID-19, which is pretty much every country on the planet has been hit by COVID-19. But countries specifically suffering are like Iran. Gaza itself has been facing a lot of blockade, Dr. Basim Naeem, for years now, and its economy is in tatters. Do you feel there's hope that at this point, for medical aid, those blockades could be removed?
Yes, this is true that the situation in Gaza, as I said, very vulnerable at the economical level because of now more than 14 years of Israeli blockade. But unfortunately, we have contacted many international bodies to help Gaza. The only positive response announced until now was from the Qatari government, where they have talked about financial support for Gaza to cope with the COVID-19 epidemic. Otherwise, we have faced the first problem, the Israeli tactics of delaying and, as always, trying to block everything which can ease the life of Gazans. Second, we have, as you know, the internal problem, the internal division between Gaza and Ramallah, and the international aid have to come through the official channel in Ramallah, and we have no objection against this. We are fully agree with this, but we are asking to keep the percentage or the part of for Gaza is for Gaza, and not to keep it in the West Bank.
We've run out of time here, though, for speaking to us and giving us your viewpoint. Mr. Fadel Abdul Ghany, Mr. Najib Sharifi, thank you so much for joining us. We've run out of time. The UN chief has called for all countries to hold ceasefire in all corners of the world. One can only hope in these difficult times that this voice will be heeded. Till next time, goodbye and stay safe.